Gentlemen, I'm Rick Godley. Gentlemen, in the other screen that you're looking at is Greg Terzia, Media Bass, North Louisiana.
Yes.
And we are on the Q 94.1. I'm going to be talking about Media Bass and plus the season that's coming up, starting Caney Lake. Is that going to be the first one next week?
First tournament of the season, Rick.
First tournament of the season. So stick around. Here we go. Quarter past 8, I'm Rick Godley. We just fired up the Facebook Live and we're getting a little bit of a glitch going. Okay, now, Greg, you may be glitching out on us here, but okay. Greg Terzia in the studio, Media Bass, North Louisiana, an event that's going to be happening on Caney Lake
Yes, sir.
next Saturday. Well, Greg, first of all, welcome in and then talk about Media Bass. Who are you, what do you do, and then why do you do what you do?
Okay, well, Media Bass started in 1985 by a man named Gordon Stauffer. There are divisions all over the South. I think we have 5 divisions in Texas, 2 in Louisiana. We have one in South Louisiana. This is the North Louisiana division. We have one in Arkansas, 1 division in Florida, and I think 1 or 2 in Mississippi. So this is not a bass club. This is a actual tournament trail that these guys are fishing. So,
all right. So the trail, and your trail obviously has got to be one of the best in the United States in the form that we got Caney Lake, we got Darbone,
Yes.
you got Claiborne. What else do you cover?
Washita River. Last year we put one on Corny Lake up in Bernice. A lot of the guys question why I did that. You know, you would think it's too small to put a major event on for what we do, but it fishes really big in the spring when you know, when the fish are shallow in the backwaters and everything. You can't actually run the lake, but the guys just idle out and disperse, and it really fishes big. And we had a great event last year in Bernice, and I can't wait to get back there this year.
All right, so the first one's going to be on Caney next week. How can somebody who's listening to us or watching us say, and again, full disclosure, I tried fishing once, caught something through the eye, and I'm like, I'm done with that. But I know it's a passion for most or a lot, and somebody who hears this just found out about who you are and what you do and said, you know what, I think I'm going to go out there and give it a shot.
Yeah,
I mean, this
on.
is wide open to
wide
anyone?
open. You can go to mediabass.com, look us up, North Louisiana Division. On the website, you can register online, and the entry fee for the teams events is $200. It's a $40 membership fee for Media Bass, and that's it. Now, if you have not been on the lake the week prior and you want to fish the event, that's fine. It's off limits the week prior to the tournament, but you can still register the morning of the tournament. We will be at Lonesome Pine Resort on Caney. That's where we're going to be having the tournament this year. We're really excited about having it there.
And we're going to live stream it too. It's going to be the first stream that I've ever done.
I am excited to have you on, Rick, doing the live stream for Media Bass. We're taking the whole live stream weigh-in for our viewers to a whole nother level.
I mean,
and, you will know all about fishing before this is over with.
I've never done a play-by-play on the weigh-in. By the way, is this catch and release or?
Oh yeah, we catch and release, and when if these guys were to bring a dead fish in, they get a half-pound penalty per dead fish. So we are really strict on trying to keep these fish, you know, alive and release them back.
I'm showing these pictures that these fish are huge.
Yeah. Last year our event on Caney was crazy. We had 5 stringers come in, and when I say 5 stringers, we had a stringer is 5 fish, the 5 biggest fish that you bring in. That's what these guys are competing with. We had 5 come in over 20 pounds. First place was Dusty Nomi with 5 for 28.88, and he had a 13.21 pound big bass, which I've never held a bass that big. I had the shakes when I was trying to put him in the basket to weigh him, but it was incredible.
13-pound fish,
13,
and he's back there swimming around right now, right?
Swimming around, yep. And I'm sure Dusty will be fishing. Matter of fact, I know he is. He's already signed up to fish Saturday, so.
All right, so the rules of play, if you will, you can't fish it the week before, but like for example, they can go out there today and fish Caney.
Yeah,
because it's a week out.
And fish, right? Yes, sir. They don't have to be registered right now, but you know, in order, you know, they do have to, you know, they have to be. They can't fish the week prior, even if they are registered.
I got you. All right, so they do it for fun, they do it for passion, but obviously I have a sense there's a little money involved.
Oh yeah, there's money involved in it for sure. And so an example, I just, you know, in my head, I'm thinking 25 teams generally pays out around $2,500 for first place. So for around here, that's a good bit of money. This isn't a pro tournament trail, but you know, for a local tournament trail around here, that's a chunk of change just to go fishing.
Well, talk about, I mean, I know that the competition, but then there's got to be camaraderie. I mean, it's like a brotherhood, and it's not a male thing, is it?
No,
right?
we have a couple of females fishing, and we have some, we have a few that do, and we're seeing more and more of that, you know, every year. So.
Well, what I like to do there, Greg Terzia, our guest here on the Q 94.1, is get to motivation. What is motivation? Going back to the beginning. And you said, Rick, if you ever wanted to find out why I do what I do, why don't you answer that question? What motivates you?
Well, it kind of goes back to high school. I played sports in high school. I thought I was great at everything.
Who didn't?
I played football, played baseball. The problem with baseball was that it was in the spring, and we had Saturday baseball tournaments. And so I found myself sitting in the dugout more than playing. And I, you know, took a liking to bass tournaments, and so I thought, you know, I'm not going to quit baseball. I'm not a quitter. I'm just not going to show up Saturday for the tournament, for the baseball tournament. I'm going to go to the bass tournament because I'd rather be fishing all day. So I did that for a couple of weeks, and then Coach finally came up to me and says, Greg, you got to make, you know, you have to make a decision. What do you want to do? Do you want to fish? Or you want to play baseball? I said, well, you made that decision for me. I'd rather fish than sit in the dugout.
Right.
So you know, that was that, and. So basically, fishing is an out for me.
Right.
And, you know, back then they didn't have high school fishing, and now they do. And there's this big high school tournament now, Northeast Louisiana High School. Ashley Carter is putting it on. They had 120 kids, 60 teams on Claiborne last weekend. So it went from, you know, back when I was in high school, there was nothing like that, to now high school fishing has totally blown up.
60 teams, one team is 2 people, correct?
That's right.
And I'm showing pictures of these the high schoolers last week. I mean, and
it's incredible. So that the parents or volunteers will show up and take these kids, you know, and you know they'll drive the boat, and the kids make the decision on where they're going to fish and everything. But you know, I mean, look at it. I mean, what would these kids? What would they have been doing Friday night before the tournament? You know,
right.
If there wasn't a tournament. Well, you know, I know what they were doing. They were tying their baits on and getting ready for the tournament. And they have a goal in mind of winning, which if that wasn't going on, well, what would they have been doing? So
right.
I'm totally supportive of that, and that's, you know, that's a start as to why I'm a tournament director.
All right, since you fessed up, I'm going to do a little fessing up too. It's called the moment of truth of aging from a young lad. I went to college, and it was a course. It was interdisciplinary, which meant it was a pass-fail. You didn't get a grade, you know, so pass-fail, no big deal. Well, the dean of the college wanted me, the class, to read Alexander Solzhenitsyn's The Gulag Archipelago, which is a book that thick.
Okay, that's way over my head, but go ahead.
Well, anyway, it's a book that thick for a pass-fail, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going out Friday night, you know, social scene, et cetera.
Yeah.
So I was going to be honest enough and say, you know what, I'm just not going to take that test, and he'll know that I didn't read the book.
Right.
Well, he said, Mr. Godey, will you come down to my office? I recommend you quit college right now. And I'm like, what? So yeah, no,
you made a good decision, Rick.
I didn't quit. I fought it through, but I failed the class.
That's right.
So
okay.
Baseball lost, but not only well, you won and fishing won here, and so
that's right.
This is a neat thing. So all right, starts on Caney next week. What is the schedule up somewhere on your Facebook page? Where do you want people to go from here?
Okay, so you can look me up on Facebook page, Greg Terzia, or you can go to the I have a division Facebook page, North Louisiana Media Bass. You can look it up there, or just go to mediabass.com and see the schedule. But on top of my head, we're going to Claiborne in February. We go to Darbone in March. We'll hit Corny Up in Bernice in April, and then we're actually going back to Darbone late April, and then we finish up on the Ouachita River in May, I believe. So.
I mean, all right, you get around these people that come around from fishing from all over the United States. We do have a jewel here, and it's just not me saying it, of the wealth of and depth, pun intended, of the resources we have with all of the rivers, the lakes that you just named, as well as the Ouachita. Are we more famous out of our area, you know, from people like, we got to go to Louisiana because it's happening there?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's...
So, you know, the pros came down and fished on Caney Lake last year, and it was amazing how they caught fish. Never been on Caney, and they were catching fish. They were catching fish that I don't think I could have caught, you know, and they've never been on the lake. But so, yeah, all these lakes around here are pretty famous nationwide. But me and all my other, you know, friends that fish locally, we always say these are the toughest lakes to fish in the country because there's so much pressure on them. There's so many guys fishing them, and they're not big like Toledo Bend, you know.
Right.
And so you really have to know what you're doing in order to catch fish. So I've always said the best fishermen in this country are right here because these are the hardest lakes to fish.
So, folks, if they want to show up Caney Lake next week, what time would be the place? I mean, what time, and then where would they want to go for Caney?
So, like I said, we're going to be at the Lonesome Pine Resort. That's right by the Ebenezer boat ramp. Get there about 5:30. We'll start registration then, and we'll try to get you guys out. You know, we have a little bit of paperwork we have to do since it is the first tournament, so we want y'all to get there a little bit early so I can get y'all out early. We're just excited. I mean, and I'm excited to have you doing the weigh-in, Rick. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. I mean, all right. So, yeah, if there's a first time for everything, so I am looking forward to it. All right, let's get back to the music here on theCUBE. We'll keep the live stream going. Greg Terzia, thank you so much for stopping on by, my friend. Man. Here's Glenn Campbell now and Galveston on your home for real country, Q94.1. All right, we are live still. So the stream is going. And Greg, is there anything I didn't talk to you about that you want the folks to know about? Because this is going to be captured, and you can put it on your Facebook page as well.
Right. No, I mean, you basically covered everything, Rick. We're just excited to continue to do this. This is our 4th year running Media Bass, my wife and I, and it's something that we really enjoy to do. I have a passion for fishing. I always have, and it's fun to actually put on this event. I know these guys, they go out and they have a long work week, and I know that they look forward to fishing this tournament, and I'm just excited that I'm allowed to do this.
Did you go out? I'm putting up the pictures now from last week that was on Lake Claiborne, the high school fishing. Did you go out there for that? Or?
I was not able to go to that event.
60 teams,
60 teams. I mean, that's incredible because, I mean, there wasn't anything like that when I was in high school. I mean, bass fishing was not popular. When I was, I think, 14, my dad joined me up in the North Central Bass Club, that was the club here in Ruston. Me and I think there were 2 other guys my age that were in that club, and there was a lot of, you know, older men. My dad didn't fish. He was just trying to find something for me to do because he's a musician, you know that.
Yeah.
But he joined the club, and these other guys, when you say, you know, fishing community, these other guys were taking me out and teaching me their skills, you know. And my dad was, you know, he was fishing, but we were all, you know, I was allowed to fish with these other men that really knew, you know, how to tournament fish. So that was where I kind of learned about the fishing community. And, you know, we're just carrying it on today.
Right. What's the biggest fish you ever caught? You had a personal record?
Oh, yeah, 11.27. Guess what lake that was on?
Caney.
Yeah.
I heard Billy Nungesser, you know, and I like Billy, and but, you know, you can fish anywhere in the world, but in Louisiana, you catch fish.
Yeah, you do catch fish.
And
I said, here it's pretty challenging. You know, if you go down south, you know, you can really catch.
Well, and I think I went down there when Caney, they got rocked by a tornado a couple of years ago, and so they're open, and that's where I heard him say that. So you got Caney State Park, you got Darbone State Park, you got Claiborne State Park, and I know I'm leaving out, well, Bistineau, but that's over to the west of us.
Right.
But we got so many great, again, resurces here.
We do. It's incredible. I'm just glad that I was, you know, raised here as a child, and I had fishing, you know, I mean, all around me. So my grandparents lived on the Bayou Desir to Monroe, and my one set of grandparents lived on the Bayou Desir. My others had a camp on Lake Claiborne. So I was on the water all the time, and that was my out as a child, and it still is as an adult. So.
Greg Terzia of Terzia's Rental, but also Greg Terzia's Fishing Tackle. Why don't you talk about your store, what you got in store?
Yeah, so I believe we're 11 years into having a tackle shop inside Terzia's Rental. You know, it's not like a Bass Pro Shop, but what I try to do is specialize in colors or baits that you can't normally find, say at Bass Pro or at Walmart. I mainly carry a lot of Zoom, and when I say Zoom, Rick, I'm talking about that's a plastic bait.
Mm-hmm.
You'll figure all that out later on as we go throughout the year. But they have lots of colors, and there's quite a few that you can't just easily find, and that's what I try to do. I try to separate myself from Bass Pro by doing that.
So it's Greg Terzia's Bait and Tackle on Kentucky in Ruston. You have a website or a Facebook?
I don't have a website, but I do on my
yeah.
personal
What good's a
Facebook page.
website? You want to go and buy the jig, right?
That's right. I want you guys to walk in and shop around a little bit, but we like it. I love having that tackle store in there. I don't get to fish like I used to, but it's fun for guys to come in there and talk about fishing, and I get to at least hear their stories.
Well, that's a whole nother podcast, Liar's Poker, right? Or,
that's right. That's right.
All right, so we're going to kill the stream. Thank you all for watching.
Yep.
We will get you the information on where to watch the live stream. It may be as exciting as the Lincoln Parish Police Jury, although there'll be more truth in the fish than we won't go there right now. But
no, we won't. But we are really. I can't tell you how excited we are for the tournament season to start back up, and you being there doing the stream.
All right, so. Time-wise on Saturday, you told me, what do you think we're going to stream it up at? Noon 30, or who knows?
Probably around, the guys start coming in around 2:30 to weigh in.
Gotcha.
Weigh in. The weigh-in actually starts at 3. But we'll have some might have a really big fish that they want to weigh early because they don't want it to die. And so, they're taking care of the fish to make sure everything's good. So we'll probably start it up. I don't know. I'm guessing. I don't know how long it takes you to get set up, Rick, but I'm thinking maybe around 2:15.
I'll be ready to go anytime.
2 o'clock, 2:15, and maybe a little earlier. What we plan on doing is getting some interviews with the guys, prior to the weigh-in. And that's why I want you on to stream it, is because while the weigh-in's going on, in between guys weighing, you'll be able to interview these guys. We did this Facebook Live the last 2 years, and it was great. But it just wasn't right where I wanted it to be. I want our viewers to be able to experience the weigh-in, live, so you can really tell them what's going on through the stream, and we're going to be able to expose our sponsors more by that too.
That's right.
You know what's going on with that. So
that's right. Plus, we have a live chat, so they can ask a question.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's going to be fun.
You went and got the wrong guy to do this, man. We're gonna. I
didn't know that.
They can chime in. Matter of fact, well,
that's great. You'll be able to communicate with our viewers then. But the thing that's fun about the live stream is that we have a lot of guys that would want to fish the tournament, say, and they can't. Say they have to go off and work, go out of state or whatever. But they're part of Media Bass, and that's what's fun, is that they want to be here, but they're not. But they can still feel like they're here. And then you have family members that want to watch their family weigh in, and they're not able to come to the weigh-in, but they're able to watch that on Facebook and now through you. And and then we have people that just like watching the tournament in general that aren't a part of Media Bass. So that that's why we're doing the live stream.
Oh, I know. No, I'm looking forward to it. So Greg Terzia, and we'll get you all the information out. When and where to watch the main one. I know it's going to be your Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
ATL-Lincoln. I'm trying to build ATL, which stands for All Things Local, all Things Lincoln, and All Things Louisiana. So this one almost checks all those boxes. But All Things Louisiana, we're qualifying there. Yep. Plus various and sundry Facebook streams, plus YouTube. So we'll let you know about that, and we'll kill this stream now.
All right. Well, thanks for having me on, Rick.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. There he is, Greg Terzia, and we'll, pun intended,